Hi friends, good morning and welcome to this class. Yesterday we had been talking about the importance of land and how it is distributed in India, how much is good land, how much is a wasteland, all that. So that comes to make us aware about the importance of land. How precious land is. If there is no land, the ecosystem is collapsed and no life can survive without land. So that makes us to bring to this point to make us realize how the land is degraded and what measures can we take in order to conserve this land, in order to protect and preserve this land. So in today's class, let us talk about how the land is being degraded and what measures can we take in order to preserve the land for the future generations as well. Otherwise, we will be moving out from this earth and the land also will be moving out. So, we cannot think about the future generations surviving on this earth if the present state of degradation is continued. So, let us see what are the measures to be taken. We can look at your textbook, page number 6, land degradation and conservation measures. So we have shared our land with the past generations and will have to do so with the future generations too. 95% of our basic needs for food, shelter and clothing are obtained from the land. Human activities have not only brought about degradation of land but also aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause damage to land. So human being is the most responsible person for the degradation of the land. Because of our various activities we are spoiling the land and the land is being degraded day by day. At present, there are about 130 million hectares of degraded land in India. So that shows how huge is the degraded land. 130 million. 130 million hectares. That much land is degraded. Yesterday we learned how much is the total land area on the earth or in India. That is 103.28 million. So out of that 3.28, 130 million is already degraded. And approximately 28% of it belongs to the category of forest degraded area. So even the forest, the land is getting degraded. So among these 120 million hectares, we can divide this one into 28% forest. So forest land also is getting degraded because of human activities. We go and do the mining there or cutting of trees, all those things. So even the forest area is getting degraded. Then 56% is water eroded area. 56% due to water. Due to water flowing or water logging, 56% of this area is due to water flowing. And also some places there is saline, alkaline deposits and so on. That is the rest. Then some human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining and quarrying too have contributed significantly in land degradation. So human activities, which are the human activities causing land degradation? Like deforestation, cutting of the trees, overgrazing. So we go and send the animals into the same place again and again and they eat up all the grass, including the roots of the grass. They pull it out, and that way, when the rain comes, the soil is washed away because there is no more grass to hold on to the soil. So, overgrazing, too much grazing by the animals. Then people go on doing mining and quarrying, cutting stones, breaking stones, digging, all that. So all these human activities is causing land degradation. Then mining sites are abandoned after excavation works is complete, leaving deep scars and traces of overburdening. So people, they are very selfish, They go for mining, they dig out deep into the earth, and once they have mined out all the minerals in that area, they don't bother to cover it back again. They don't put back the mud into the holes and fill up the earth again. They just leave it there. So that remains for years and years as a scar. Just like if there's a wound on our body, if you don't take care of it, all that area, the wound become deeper and deeper. The same way, human negligence is responsible for the deep scars on the earth that we dig and dig, but we don't bother to cover it up again. Then, in states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha, deforestation due to mining have caused severe land degradation. So these states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, they are very rich in minerals. So they go on digging. Even in the forest area, they find a lot of minerals are there. So they go and cut down the trees and go on digging, and the forest gets degraded. That is how we said 28% of the forest land is degraded because of human activities. So that is mainly taking place in these states because of the availability of minerals there. Then, in states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, organizing is one of the main reasons. Overgrazing is one of the main reasons for land degradation. So here the people, especially the farmers, they have got a lot of cattle farmers, and they go on sending the animals into the same place. They go on overgrazing it, and as a result, the entire grass is removed by the cattle, and then when the rain comes, all the soil is washed away. Then in the states Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, over irrigation is responsible for land degradation due to waterlogging, leading to increase in salinity and alkalinity in the soil. So the farmers in the states like Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, what do? They go on cultivating even the area where there is no water, we can cultivate with the help of irrigation. So they cultivate and they do over irrigation. Lot of water from the sea or from the lake, from the rivers are pumped into the garden in order to cultivate. So because of that, this water containing lot of salt, salinity or alkaline, so all these enter into the soil too much because of over watering or over irrigation, and so slowly the quality of the soil is coming down, degraded, because soil is getting mixed with lot of salt and alkaline, and it is failing to produce good fruit. Then the mineral processing like grinding of limestone for cement industry and calcite and soapstone for ceramic industry generate huge quantity of dust in the atmosphere. And the areas where there is industries are there, industries making cement or making other tiles industry, cement industry, all those industry, where this industry is working, from the factory lot of dust is coming out. You must have seen the places where stone grinding is going on, where the machine is grinding the stone. A lot of dust will be coming out from there, and it will go and settle down on the soil. the topsoil is filled with this dust, and which is not good at all, not fertile at all, and that is also affecting the quality of the soil. So when this dust comes and settles on the top of the soil, what happens? It prevents the water from getting down. When there is rain, the water cannot go down because this dust is settling there and the water will flow away. It will not go deep into the soil, and so the underground water does not exist there or does not remain there. Unless the water goes down, there cannot be storage in the underground. So it is making the soil more and more dry and filled with the dust. So that is industries, the existence of industries is another reason why the soil becomes very poor or degraded. Then there are many ways to solve the problems of land degradation. Now it comes to the solutions. How can we conserve the soil? What method can we take to conserve the soil? Let's see. First one is afforestation and proper management of grazing can help some extent. So, afforestation. We said a lot of trees are cut down. Deforestation is taking place. Maybe for cultivation, maybe for mining and so on. So, just as we are cutting down the trees, we also need to make sure that we plant trees. We have to do the planting of trees, afforestation. That is one thing. So if you keep on planting trees, more and more trees, then the more trees will come up and it will protect the soil. And second one is we have to restrict the overgrazing. We should not allow the animals to go on grazing in the same place again and again. So we have to change the place. We should not allow the animals to go on eating grass from the same place. So these are some of the steps we can do. Then again, proper management of wastelands, control of mining activities, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and waste after treatment can reduce land and water degradation in industrial and suburban areas. So we can also do proper management of the wasteland. Some areas are waste, some areas are remaining water logged, or some areas mining activities are going on. All this we have to control and we have to do in the proper way, not simply going and doing anyhow and getting the maximum result. But we also need to think about the future and we need to control all these human activities. And the wastewater that is coming out from the factories, from the houses, all that, before sending them into the river or sending them into the land, we have to purify them, we have to treat them, we have to remove all that is chemical inside the water, then we have to send into the river or into the land, then the soil remains good. So that paragraph speaks about the measures that we can take. We have to plant trees, afforestation, controlling of overgrazing, then proper management of mining, wasteland, proper discharge on disposal of the industrial waste, all that we have to see. You can underline all those points. What are the measures that we can do in order to conserve the land? Then we come to soil. So long we are talking about land. Now let us see about soil. We know soil is not same everywhere. The soil that you see here will not be same there. It may be different in its color or its hardness. Some may be soft soil, some may be hard soil, some may be rocky soil, sandy soil. So there are different types of soils are there. So we know as the land consists of soil, soil is a very important resource. Soil is a very important resource. Let's see. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource. You can underline, which is the most important renewable and natural resource, soil. It is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms. We know if the soil is not there, no plant can grow. On the top of the rock, no plant can grow. And the organisms, the living organisms, the animals, they also cannot survive. So the soil is very important medium. Then the soil is a living system. So soil is a living system. It can grow, or it can degrade, or it can be destroyed, and so on. And it takes millions of years to form soil up to few centimeters in depth. If you want to get the soil a few centimeters depth, then it needs millions of years. It does not come very quickly, it does not grow very quickly, it grows slowly, slowly. Millions of years is needed for the earth to be covered with 1 or 2 millimeters of soil. And parent rock or bedrock, relief, climate, vegetation, and other forms of life and time are important factors in the formation of the soil. You can underline. What are the important factors in the formation of soil? What are they? First of all, relief, then parent rock or bedrock, or the climate, on vegetation, and other forms of life, the forms of life that are there, maybe the animals, the creatures, the birds, the human beings. So all these will depend on the formation of the soil. Various forces of nature such as change in temperature, actions of running water, wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc. contribute to the formation of soil. So apart from what we said, there is also some other more factors are there, forces are there, like that is all natural forces like running water or change in temperature, then wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, and so on. So they are also helping to form the soil. Then chemical and organic changes which take place in the soil are equally important. So there will be chemical changes taking place, organic changes taking place. All these are also important in the formation of soil. And soil also consists of organic and inorganic materials. So in the soil there will be organic and inorganic materials also will be there. So organic means living beings like humus and so on. Then you can see also in the picture 1.6 in the previous page. You can see here how the soil structure is there. On top there is soil, then below that there is subsoil like weathered rocks, sand and silt and clay. Then below that again there is substratum, weathered parent rock materials and so on. Then at last the bottom level there is unweathered parent rock. So the parent rock is at the bottom and the top part is affected slowly. So it is affecting slowly. Then on top we get the nice smooth soil. So it takes millions of years for this parent rock to get powdered slowly, get weathered slowly, and get powdered and become soil. Now, on the basis of the factors responsible for soil formation, color, thickness, texture, age, chemical and physical properties, the soils of India can be classified in different types. So as we said, the soil is different from place to place, and we can divide this soil into different categories based on their thickness, their color, their texture. Texture means whether it is smooth or hard, and the age, how old is this soil. According to the age we can divide, or concerning the properties, whether the physical property and the chemical property of the soil, we can divide them. So let us see what are they. So classification of soils. Classification of soils. So India has varied relief features, landforms, climatic realms and vegetation types. These have contributed to the development of various types of soils. First let us see alluvial soil. Alluvial soil, that is the most important soil that is found in India, and it is very rich and we can use for cultivation. So this is the most widely spread and important soil. In fact, the entire northern plains are made of alluvial soil. So we said, actually we studied after Himalayas comes the northern plains. So all these northern plains soil is filled with this type of soil, alluvial soil, which is coming down from top of the mountain, from the Himalayas with the rivers, and the river is bringing a lot of silt, sand, everything from there and forming the northern plains, and that is filled with alluvial soil, which is very good for cultivation. So farmers are very happy to have land there so that they can cultivate and they can produce good harvest. And these have been deposited by three important Himalayan river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, again underline, which are the three rivers responsible for the formation of northern plains, or which are the three rivers bringing alluvial soil into the northern plains. Which are they? The Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. These three rivers originating from Himalaya, they are bringing down a lot of sand, silt, clay, everything, and settling and filling up these northern plains. And these soils also extend in Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow corridor. So this soil comes to the northern plain, and from there a small corridor, a small area, it is going up to Rajasthan and Gujarat as well. Alluvial soil is also found in the eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of Mahanadi and Godavari, the Krishna and Kaveri rivers. So this alluvial soil is also found in the eastern side of the coastal plain, that is the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. So these rivers that are in the eastern side of India, they are also bringing down this alluvial soil from the small mountains that are there nearby. So they are also forming this alluvial soil there. So alluvial soil will be formed by rivers coming down, flowing down from the mountain tops. They will be carrying a lot of sand, silt, soil, clay, everything, and they will come and deposit at the mouth of the river, and there it will spread, and that way the plain is formed, and that soil is very good for cultivation. And the alluvial soil consists of various proportions of sand, silt and clay. Again underline, what are the contents of alluvial soil? Sand, silt and clay. And as we move inlands towards the river valleys, soil particles appear somewhat bigger in size. So as we move towards the inland, towards the river valleys, what will happen? Soil particles appear somewhat bigger in size, and in upper reaches of the river valley, that is near the plain or the break or slope, the soil are coarse, and such soils are more common in Piedmont plains such as duars, coals and terrae. So we know that when the river is coming down and depositing all the sand, silt, soil, everything there, the heavy things will remain first. The heavy things or the heavy particles heavy stones and pebbles, they will stop first going. Then little more light one will go still more, and which is very fine will go maximum. So that's why when we move towards the mouth of the river, the particles become bigger and bigger. So at the end, towards the end, we will have the finest particles. And as we come, we will find it is little more bigger. Then when we come, it is little more bigger. And towards the close to the mouth of the river, we will find it is bigger, the biggest, because of the weight. Heavy ones will stop first, and the small ones will go still farther and farther till the end of the plain region. And so we find more areas like Piedmont plains. So those plains, some of the names examples are Duars, Cos and Terrai. So apart from the size of their grains or components, soil are also described on the basis of their age. So we said sometimes we can see the age of the soil. How old is this new soil? How old? Accordingly also we can divide the soil. So according to their age, alluvial soil can be classified as old alluvial and new alluvial. So alluvial soil can be classified into old and new. There is another name also for old. What is name? Old alluvial soil is known as Bankar. 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 And new one is known as Qatar. So these are the two types of alluvial soils which can be divided based on their age. Old one is called Bankar, or new one is called Qatar. So sometimes they'll ask for exams. What is the difference between Bankar and Qatar? Or what is Qatar? Or what is Bankar? So you need to remember. The old one is known as Bankar, the new one is known as Qatar. So don't forget. And alluvial soils as a whole are very fertile, and mostly these soils contain adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulse crops. So why farmers are very much interested in cultivating in the alluvial soil? It is very ideal for the growth of sugarcane, wheat, paddy and so on. So why it is ideal? Because the contents are potash, phosphoric acid and lime. These three elements are very much necessary for the growth of plants, and in the alluvial soil you will find all these elements. Therefore the growth of the crop is very well taking place in this alluvial soil. That's why it is the most ideal soil for cultivation. And due to its high fertility, regions of alluvial soil are intensely cultivated and densely populated. Soils in the drier areas are more alkaline and can be productive after proper treatment and irrigation. So because of this good nature of the soil, the good contents of the soil, the farmers are intensely cultivating in this region. So the soil where there is alluvial soil, that land is never left free. Always cultivation is going on, and this area is thickly populated. All the farmers want to settle in that area and go on cultivating in that region. So that is how alluvial soil is able to give good production or good harvest for the farmers. The farmers are very much interested in cultivating there. Now let us come to another type of soil, that is called black soil. Black soil. So what is black soil? From the name itself we can understand that soil will be black in color. So these are soils that are black in color and are also known as regur soil. Another name for black soil is regur. Regur soil. And black soil is ideal for growing cotton. You can underline the importance of black. It is good for ideal for cotton. So if you want to cultivate cotton, then you must have regur soil or black soil. Then your cotton plants will grow very well and give good crops. Then is also known as black cotton soil. So because this black soil is very good for cotton, growth of cotton, it is also known as black cotton soil. Then it is believed that climatic condition along with the parent rock material are the important factors for the formation of black soil. So what is responsible of formation of black soil? It is climatic condition along with the parent rock material. So when there is a climate, special climate, maybe too hot, too cold, the parent rock starts breaking and the changes taking place and black soil is formed. This type of soil is typical of the Deccan Trough region spread over northwest Deccan Plateau and is made up of lava flows. So in the Deccan Plateau, a lot of lava is flowing, a lot of lava formation is there, volcanoes are there, and when it is breaking, lava comes out and that is black in color, and slowly that lava will get cooled and will be broken, slowly get into powdered, and it is forming black soil. And they cover plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and extend in the southeast direction along the Godavari and the Krishna valleys. So these are the areas where this black soil is found. The black soils are made of extremely fine, that is clay material. So the black soil, it is made up of very fine material, black soil, black content. They are well known for their capacity to hold moisture. In addition, they are rich in soil nutrients such as calcium, carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. These soils are generally poor in phosphoric contents. They develop deep cracks during the hot weather, which helps in the proper aeration of the soil. So this soil, black soil, when there is a hot climate, a lot of cracks are there, lines are developed in the soil. And so through that cracks, air can enter into the soil, and that way the air is always the soil is supplied with the air through these cracks. So that is one advantage. The soil, that is called aeration. Air is able to enter into the soil through this crack. And these soils are sticky when wet. So that is the quality of this black soil. When it is wet, it becomes very sticky and difficult to work on unless till immediately after the first shower. So if it is nicely wet, for plenty of water is there, then very difficult to work into it because it will stick on your leg, body, hands, everywhere. And so soon after the first rain comes, before it becomes very slushy, they have to do the ploughing and they have to keep it ready. So before too much rain comes, there should be finish up the planting, cultivation and come out. Otherwise very difficult to work into it. And during the pre-monsoon period, that is how they should take care. So farmers who are working in this black soil, they will be very much aware about what will be the situation if the monsoon comes, so as soon as the first monsoon rain comes, they'll start digging it and they'll start planting and they'll come out. Once too much rain comes, the mud will be very sticky and very difficult to do the work. Then there is another type of soil. Next type of soil is red and yellow soils. Red and yellow. Red and yellow soils. That also from the color we can make out. Red soil or yellow soil. And red soil develops on crystalline igneous rocks in areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern parts of the Deccan Plateau. Yellow and red soils are also found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the Middle Ganga Plain, and along the Piedmont zone of Western Ghats. These soils develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. So I can underline, why does this soil get a red color? Due to the diffusion. Diffusion means movement of substance. So some substances are moving into the soil, especially substance of iron that is moving, and this soil gets red color. So you can imagine, if you put a iron in the mud, iron gets rusty, and slowly the nearby soil also will become red in color. So that is how the iron contents are moving into this soil and the soil's color is changed and it becomes red in color. So it does not take place just in 1 year or 2 years. As I said, millions of years will take the formation of this soil. And it looks yellow when it occurs in a hydrated form. So when it is hydrated, when it is mixed with hydrated means water. When it is mixed with water, the red soil will turn into yellow soil. So when it is dry, it will look red, and when it is raining or when it is wet, it becomes like a yellow soil. So these are the reason why the soil is red and yellow. The same soil, when it is mixed with iron, it becomes yellow. After that, if it is mixed with water, then it will turn to be yellow. So today, let us wind it up, and I request you to read these lessons again and again and underline the important points. And a lot of names are there, the places where this soil is found, all that you need to learn nicely. Do not postpone it for tomorrow or for another day. Try to complete your lessons every day and learn nicely. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.